There is a particular kind of heartbreak that the whole world feels at once. Not because it happened to them, but because it happened to someone they believed in. And right now, that someone is Meagan Thee Stallion. In late April 2026, one of music's most powerful women walked out onto a Broadway stage, stood under the lights of Moulin Rouge, and fought back tears in front of a full house, not from the script, but from real, raw, unscripted pain. Hours earlier, she had blown up the internet with a message that nobody saw coming. And just like that, one of the most talked about celebrity romances of the past year was officially over. Klay Thompson had allegedly cheated. The hot girl had been fumbled. And the internet? The internet lost its mind. Let's go back to the beginning because this story did not start in heartbreak. It started in something that looked a whole lot like a fairy tale. Klay Thompson is one of the most decorated shooting guards in NBA history. For championship rings with the Golden State Warriors. 13 seasons in the league. A reputation as one of the most elite shooters the game has ever seen. But in the summer of 2024, he made a move that surprised everybody. He left Golden State, the only NBA home he had ever known, and signed with the Dallas Mavericks. A new city, a new chapter. And as it turned out, a new love story was waiting for him there. Meagan Thee Stallion, born Megan Pete, is a Grammy-winning rapper from Houston, Texas. 3 #1 hits on the Billboard Hot 100. A cultural force who turned phrases like hot girl summer into something bigger than a song, bigger than a lifestyle. She is also someone who has survived more than most people will ever understand. She lost both her mother and her grandmother in heartbreakingly close succession. She endured the Tory Lanez shooting and the years-long legal battle that followed. She has been mocked, dismissed, undermined, and dragged, and she kept standing up, kept showing up, kept performing. By the time 2025 rolled around, Meagan had done what she called the real work on herself, healing, grounding, rebuilding. And somewhere in that rebuilding, she met Klay Thompson. Nobody knows exactly when or where they first crossed paths. Meagan kept it intentionally mysterious when she finally addressed it, telling People magazine, "We met, and it was such a meet cute. It was like a F-King movie. I won't tell you how, and I won't tell you when, but it was a movie." The first real hint came in July 2025, when eagle-eyed fans spotted a man they recognized lounging in a pool chair in the background of one of Megan's Instagram posts. That man was Klay Thompson. The comments section erupted. The @HoopsNation account replied with a simple "Klay." And that comment collected over 10,000 likes before the hour was out. Even Benefit Cosmetics chimed in with "soft launch." The internet had already done the math. The full confirmation came on July 16, 2025, at Megan's own gala for the Pete and Thomas Foundation, the charity she founded in honor of her late parents. Klay showed up, stood beside her, and made it unmistakably official. This was no longer a background pool chair. This was a man presenting himself to the world as her partner. Days later, during a golf outing that Megan posted to TikTok, Klay unprovoked dropped the L word. He said, "Ever since I've been in love, my golf games reaped all the benefits." He called her his good luck charm. The internet said ah. The basketball commentators said concerned things. The love story was in full swing. And it genuinely looked like something special. These were not two people performing a relationship for cameras. Meagan showed up courtside at Mavericks games. She gifted him a nautical-themed chain for the season opener. They posted workout TikToks together, golf date content together, cooking videos together. Meagan revealed her signature recipe, spaghetti and catfish, and said that ever since she made it for him once, he had been requesting it every single week. In October 2025, she released a single called Lover Girl, with lyrics widely interpreted as being entirely about Klay. The couple were making music and making memories simultaneously. In November, he announced on Instagram that he had named his boat the SS Stallion after her. She cooked Thanksgiving dinner for his entire family, nervous and sweet about it. "I hope they love this because I got to show them that I really love they son," she said in a video. On February 7th, 2026, she went all out for his birthday, arranging for his favorite group, Bone Thugs-n-Harmony, to perform privately just for him. She called it Klay Day. He called her the love of his life. And then, at some point between February and April, something changed. And nobody on the outside saw it coming. On April 25th, 2026, Meagan posted to her Instagram story, and the words she wrote set off a chain reaction that is still reverberating. She opened with one word: cheating. Then she laid it all out, raw, unfiltered, with the kind of honesty that people either respect deeply or feel deeply uncomfortable with. She wrote that he had her around his whole family, playing house. She said he got cold feet. She asked, with visible fury, how he could put her through mood swings and mistreatment during his entire basketball season, and then turn around and say he did not know if he could be monogamous. She closed with, "BH, I need a real break after this one. Bye, y'all." A formal statement followed, delivered to E! News, with the kind of language that carries legal weight even when it comes from a broken heart. "Trust, fidelity, and respect are non-negotiable for me in a relationship," Meagan said, "and when those values are compromised, there's no real path forward. I'm taking this time to prioritize myself and move ahead with peace and clarity." And then she went to Broadway. That same night, she walked on stage at the St. James Theatre and performed her role as Zeidler in Moulin Rouge, and she held it together for most of the show. But at the curtain call, the crowd's love was so loud, so genuine, so overwhelming, that the tears came anyway. Videos of that moment went viral within minutes. The audience screaming for her, the dancers behind her giving her quiet nods of solidarity, and Meagan standing at the edge of the stage, eyes glistening, taking in a love that, unlike the one she had just walked away from, asked nothing of her in return. The internet, predictably, did what the internet always does. It searched for a name. If Klay cheated, who was he cheating with? Within hours, a name started circulating. Lexie Brown, a shooting guard with the Seattle Storm in the WNBA. The evidence being offered was, to put it charitably, thin. An old photo from 2022 appeared to show a woman courtside at a Thompson practice who some users claimed was Brown. There were claims about old follows and unfollows on Instagram. Someone said there were alleged message threads, though no verified screenshots ever surfaced. And crucially, Klay had apparently followed Lexie on Instagram shortly before the breakup announcement, which the internet treated as a signed confession. Lexie Brown responded the very next day, April 26th. She stated clearly on her Instagram stories that none of the rumors were true and that she had no involvement in the situation whatsoever. She said her focus was entirely on the upcoming WNBA season. It should have been the end of it. It was not the end of it. Days later, she was back, this time speaking to Fox News Digital, and she was no longer simply denying. She was frustrated. She said she knew Klay Thompson as a fellow professional, nothing more. She had never even met Meagan Thee Stallion. She had denied the rumors, clearly and publicly, and yet the harassment had continued. She revealed that the situation had escalated to the point where she was receiving death threats. And then she said something that landed harder than anything else in this entire story. She said, "The fact that I'm still the only one defending my name, I have no idea how to process that." She pointed out that there is a widespread conversation about protecting Black women, and yet not a single voice in that conversation had thought to mention Lexie Brown. Klay Thompson, for his part, said almost nothing. His only publicly documented response to any of this was a forward reply to a content creator who had posted criticism of him on Instagram, which read, "Please go touch grass." That was it. No denial. No defense of Lexie Brown. No acknowledgement of Meagan's pain. Just 4 words and a return to silence. The cultural reaction was swift and, in places, spectacular. Saturday Night Live ran a Weekend Update segment featuring comedian Cam Patterson, who delivered the line that would get quoted everywhere for the next week. Asked about Klay Thompson, Patterson responded, "Who even is this guy? Wait a minute, there's a WNBA for men? What would you even call that? The MNBA? To me, he's not Klay. He's dirt." The audience erupted. The clip went viral before the credits rolled. Klay Thompson, 4-time NBA champion, had officially been reduced to dirt on national television, and millions of people cheered. Fan reactions ranged from funny to furious to genuinely philosophical. One popular video featured someone saying they were trying to figure out ways to fry Klay Thompson's ACL like a chicken gizzard. Others wrote that defending Meagan on the internet was no longer enough, that something structural needed to change. In one of the more absurd but telling moments, someone posted above a news headline about President Trump being evacuated from the White House Correspondents' Dinner, and a user responded, "Nobody gives ST right now, we're all concerned about Meagan." At Meagan's next Broadway performance after the announcement, the crowd cheered so loud and so long that she had to turn away from the audience. When she turned back, she was in tears again, and this time she let them fall. On May 1st, Meagan announced she would be ending her Broadway run early. She had been cast as Zeidler in the Tony-winning Moulin Rouge, a stage debut that had been one of the most exciting chapters of her already remarkable career. Now she was stepping away. The official statement gave no reason, but the timing said everything. She needed to step back. She needed to breathe. And the people who love her understood completely. There is a bigger conversation underneath all of this, and it is one that keeps coming up whenever Meagan Thee Stallion finds herself at the center of a public storm. She has spoken openly about the pattern, about being someone who gives everything, holds nothing back, pours herself completely into loving someone, and still walking away with less than she deserved. She was with Moneybagg Yo, and that ended. She was with Partisan Fontaine, and that ended. And now Klay Thompson, the one who named his boat after her, who called her his good luck charm, who said being in love had made him better at everything. He ended it too, and allegedly not cleanly. People who watch this love story unfold in real time are asking the same question. How does someone fumble that? How do you have Meagan Thee Stallion cooking for your family, showing up courtside at your games, writing songs about you, throwing you birthday concerts, and then decide that monogamy is negotiable? The answer, as uncomfortable as it is to sit with, is that some people are simply not ready for what they claim to want. And no amount of love from the right person can fix what is broken in someone else. As of right now, Klay Thompson remains with the Dallas Mavericks, his basketball season winding down with more drama in the tabloids than on the court. Meagan Thee Stallion has stepped off Broadway, stepped back from the noise, and if her track record means anything, is probably already channeling every single one of these feelings into something the world will eventually hear on a speaker at full volume.
She has done it before. She will do it again.
And Lexie Brown, the woman who was pulled into a fire she did not start, whose name was dragged through allegations that nobody has proven, who had the courage to speak clearly while everyone else stayed silent, is in Seattle, lacing up her trainers, preparing for her WNBA season. She said the truth is out there somewhere. She is not wrong. But whether it ever fully surfaces is another matter entirely. What this story ultimately is, beyond the headlines and the viral clips and the SNL jokes, is a story about a woman who loved loudly, publicly, and without apology, and got burned for it. Again. And the remarkable thing about Meagan Thee Stallion is not the falling. It is that she always gets back up.